All right, let's get started. A little bit of chicken yoga, or maybe a lot of chicken yoga. If you're regulars, welcome back. If you're new, stay tuned, and thanks for joining us. We're here in Tucson, Arizona. We just got some rain. In fact, our Saturday class, we conjured this rain intentionally. We did asanas that were related to water and the ocean and fish, and sure enough, it rained like crazy last night. And we're meditating, by the way. And I mean, it rained like crazy. There was like 3% chance of rain, and it just rained like crazy. There was, some of the apps said there was no % chance of rain. So we did it, you guys, but we have to use our powers wisely. We're not going to conjure any more rain. We just needed to prime the pump and let nature take over. So I don't know if you can, I never know what the frame is. I'm sure you can see Coco. I know you can see Baby. I hope you can see the top of my head. That's Rita. And then out of the frame, you probably can't see. Nah, you can't see Becky. I'll introduce the rest of them. So anyways, meditating. So turn your focus inward, and I hope you have removed distractions beforehand. I hope you can turn your phone off. You know, if you have kids or grandkids that you have to, you know, be wary of, then I understand you got to keep it on. But you can set up a distinctive ring so you can ignore it, ignore other calls. Anyway, okay, there's Fauna. Fauna's looking great. And here comes Banu. Come here, Banu. Oh, this is so cool. Banu's doing great. So anyway, so we had this giant rain last night. Let's grasp our feet. Inhale up and exhale over. How's my back? Oh, thanks for asking. And my back is much better. I think I should be able to struggle through most of these asanas. And you guys do what you need to do. If I'm not doing enough, you do. On account of my back, you can do whatever you need to do to intensify your practice. Come here, Banu. Yeah. All right. You can't see him just yet. Come here, Banu. Come over here. Oh, boy. Okay, so let's come up, go into our camel ride, exhaling back, and inhaling forward. So what was I saying? Oh, about the fish. So this storm just blew tons of dirt and leaves and sticks and branches into the fish pond, knocked out the pump, and wouldn't you know it, this morning our favorite fish was belly up, but he or she was not dead. And I did a quick change of water, and he or she, I think, is somewhat revived. I don't know. Those goldfish are very durable, but you can't push them too far. And that's an old fish. It's a really old fish. It's like a 10 or 15-year-old fish. So we'll look at it later, maybe when we meditate. I had some good feedback on the fish meditation, so maybe we'll do that, especially if the cats are not cooperating with our meditation, because that's their job. But if they can't handle it, the fish will. Some people even said they liked the bees, which is great. Because the bees around here are super friendly. And they're also very thirsty. Come here, Banu, where we can see you. Come here, Banu. Banu. All right, so I'm not getting any movement out of my back, but at least I'm trying. All right, so next time we come all the way forward. All right, I'm gonna make it so you can see Banu, because he's the star of the show. You've seen these chickens before. First I'll get you into your circular movements. So let's move around in a circle. Okay, release your feet, hands to your heart. Okay, you guys do what you're doing. I'm gonna bring Banu. You can go slower too. All right, now you know what we should do? Let's go one way and then the other. So one way, stop at 12 noon, and then the other. Or you can stop at 6 a.m., whatever your internal clock looks like. So we were doing like this. Now I'm on an uneven level, so if I look crooked, it's not my fault. Come here. Okay, so we're doing like this. You can go. Oh, isn't that sweet? Arms up. Said it before, I'll say it again. When the arms come up, the movement becomes smaller because it's actually, we're restricting our movement. It would seem like it would be bigger because like we're waving, but we're not waving our hands. My hands are motionless in space, especially for those of you who are new, haven't done this before with us. So I'm not going around like this. My hands are, you can't even see my hands probably, but I'm trying to hold them motionless and only move my torso. But luckily, we will explore that more because the set that we're doing today is our reptile and amphibian set. So probably all the chickens are gone out of the frame, but the cats need some love too, man. Okay, so what I'm referring to in this circle, let's come back, is just rest for a moment, is some people are missing the side stretch and they're just going around kind of like, and they're not getting this side stretch. But the reptile spine is all side stretch, right? So that's all we're going to do. You don't have to have your arms overhead. You can just do your side to side. This is lateral movement of the spine. This is almost all that reptiles can do. They have very little movement in the sagittal plane. Not none, but they're sort of the opposite of us. We have very little movement in the lateral plane. That's why our side stretches in yoga are so important, is to maximize the little that we have left. But how many times during the day do you bend from side to side? But we're always bending over, sometimes bending back. Boy, we didn't get as much rain as I thought. The chickens are digging down into dry dirt without much difficulty. They're getting down into just dust. So we didn't get much rain at all last night. I knew it. All right. right, so we're getting that. This is our lizard spine. If you can remember back that far. Now leave her alone. We don't want a repeat of last week, do we? You bad girls. The girls chased baby around last week a little bit. It all happened very fast. Hopefully you replayed the video. Okay, great. So, well, let's end that not so quite so abruptly. Sorry. All right. So when the arms are down, you can get more articulation. And then when the hands are on your knees, you can get the most of all, taking it down into the lower spine. Oh, great. Just kick dirt on me. I don't care. Hey, cut it out. All right. And then a couple of circles, because we started with circles. Let's end with circles. This is... Okay. Becky, if you get too close to Banu, you're going to regret it. All right, one more time around, deep into the pelvic bowl. Phyllis said the pelvic bowl, that's in Pasadena, right? Ha ha. She said it, not me. Okay, great. All right, excellent. Okay, so fold your legs around the other way. Part of the reason we're doing a set of reptile asanas with the chickens is to apologize to the reptiles because these chickens ate 2 lizards this week, hunted them down and killed them, and so they're definitely a little bit carnivores. So I can say my eggs are totally organic, but I can't say that they're 100% vegan. Sorry. And they eat a lot of insects. No, we know that too. So let's walk our hands out. Well, hey, Fauna. Aw, look at poor little Fauna. Everyone picks on Fauna just because she looks different. She's an Oricana. And she is closest to the proto chicken from South America, right? With that little beard. But they sense that something's different, and they kind of pick on her a little bit. Uh-oh, better stay here. Don't knock over the mic. Unless you have to. All right, another forward fold, so we're done with that. Is she purring? I can't hear if she's purring. She may have given you a good blast of purr into the microphone. All right, so let's do our twist. Sit tall. I gotta get out of the sun. Hope I don't lose you here. I'll probably lose the top of my hands here, but you know what's going on. So sit tall, deep breath, exhale, twist to one side, come back, baby. And then inhale back to center, and exhale to the other side. I hope you can still see me. If not, I'm twisting from one side to the other. And back to center. If you want to add a breath, you exhale out to the sides and inhale to center. Okay. All right, one cat is gone. Cat's coming back. So last week's video was the longest ever recorded. 1 hour 47 minutes, and a lot of that was meditation, but I'm not sure if you guys like that or not. Maybe I'll need to record a shorty for you, just a little half-hour quick practice. It won't be out here though, it'll be in the dojo. But it's such a beautiful morning. We may take our time today too. I feel a long practice coming on. Here comes Ben New. All right, buddy. How you doing? Come back to center one last time. Float your arms down. Well, hey, Banu. Doesn't he look sporty without his collar on? Yep. Okay, shake your legs out. So let's do Bharadvaja's twist, number 1. Bharadvaja, one of the sages, and I've warned you before, all the sage twists are difficult or at least strange, not what you'd think of. So my legs are spiraled around, so this leg is bent back like a hairpin. This leg is more like a little bit more like a right angle, and this foot comes up onto this leg, either just at the knee, or you can tuck it into what this fold here, the Chinese call this the kwa in traditional Chinese medicine, sort of like an energy gateway or a chi channel runs through there. But I can't get it up into here, but it doesn't matter, right? So and the reason we're doing this now is because later we're going to take this same leg thing. Fauna, better be careful. When we do Anantasana, you'll see. But see how this unwillingness to bend in this direction sort of keeps this here nicely, right? So then we're going to continue to twist around away from that foot. If you're getting your dyslexia, I'm twisting away from both feet. So, if you're super flexible, and this is my right hand, and I'm twisting to the right, maybe the right hand can come all the way around and reach around and grasp my right foot. Now, everybody says right hand to right foot, and they go, oh, I can do that. That's not right. It's all the way around behind you, and this hand would reach that foot, but that's not happening. This hand, even reaching, the right hand reaching the left foot is still very good, too. Okay, so that's Bharadvaja's twist number 1. Bharadvaja's twist number 2 is changing nothing. Just look, instead of looking over your right shoulder, look over your left shoulder. And feel how that gives you what they call in art balanced asymmetry. You don't feel so much like you're about to fall over. All right, so we'll do it on the other side. I guess I didn't really start us out with the left and the right, but so we'll just do the opposite of whatever you just did. But in my case, the right leg is folded all the way back. Left leg is going to come up down to the right knee. Boy, we're losing chickens. We lost one cat. All we've got, this is just Banu yoga today. But that's cool. I'm going to twist to my left in this case, looking over my left shoulder. So again, if I'm twisting to my left, then my left hand is the furthest away from me, and it might be able to reach around and grasp this foot back here, or this hip here, or see, I can just barely grab my hip, if you can see my fingers here, or this hand could come all the way up to this foot. Hey, hey, hey. Uh-oh. Oh, I wish you saw that. Baby monster got attacked for no reason. Why'd you do that? It could have been a false... You know, baby monster thinks that she's getting attacked when she's not. It could have just been they got too close to her and she took it really personally. But then once one gets attacked, then they all, or once she reacts like that, then they get on the defensive, and then they don't spend much time on the defensive and they go straight into offensive, so they start to look at how they might peck her to death. And I've never seen them really fight, but I don't think they can peck very hard, because I've had them peck me when they're broody and it doesn't hurt. So I think they would use their claws, and those claws are filthy, and I think you'd get infected really bad. So I think that's their secret weapon that they've yet to demonstrate. Oh, there's baby. She's outside the fence now because she's been offended by. So I was looking over this shoulder. Bharadwaj's twist 2 is to look over this shoulder. Almost into the sun, you guys. So that fish emergency brought us up to about 7 a.m. So I'm getting hit by sun already. This is terrible. But it's okay. All right, one more breath here. Okay, great. And as Phyllis would say, it feels like we've already been doing yoga for 2 hours. She's always saying that ever since COVID, the yoga's just getting longer and longer and longer. I can't do well, let's do a straddle first to loosen things up. So straddle. All right, walk your hands out. So you guys keep an eye out for hawks. And then thanks for reminding me to keep an eye on Banu. If he strikes a pose that we can emulate, let me know. We got a bee out here that's clearly lost. It's probably towards the end of its short life. Maybe they didn't let it back into the hive, so it's just kind of wandering aimlessly with no home. All right. Okay, good. That feels good on my back. Let's come back up. Now we can do our cobbler. But again, I'm going to do a nice relaxed cobbler. In fact, boy, I should be sitting a lot taller. Gotta be careful of my lower back. But you guys can draw your feet in closer, sit taller. So don't worry though, as far as my back is concerned, this is all good for my back. This is not bad, and I didn't injure myself doing yoga. Quite the contrary, yoga just feels really good. If I could do yoga all day, I would. Sitting is the worst thing for my back. And I'm just telling you this so that if you have similar experiences, just think twice about what you avoid, because sometimes our instincts are not quite correct, especially when it comes to the back. They used to prescribe bed rest for a bad back. I mean, it depends on what's wrong with your back, but in a lot of cases, that's exactly what you don't want to do. So, okay, good. Let's do our thunderbolts. I'm going to get, let's see, you won't be able to see my hands for sure, and you might not even be able to see my head. We'll do the best we can. Whose feathers are these? Oh, that's Becky's feathers. All right, so I'm sitting on my feet. Come up to here. Hey, Fauna. So I forgot to mention that when we were doing those Kundalini movements, those have a reptilian connotation too. The Kundalini is visualized as the coiled serpent, right? So we should always be thinking about a snake when we're doing our Kundalini movements. So my toes are curled under, palms together. All right, that's good. And then we'll try curling the toes under the other way. So my arms are not going to go up this time. Can't see them anyway, because I don't really have good posture here anyway, because I'm just working on this toe bend here. So that's sufficient. Wow, I'm already getting smacked by sunlight. All right, so let's see. Let us do let's do our Kundalini frog pose. So instead of doing our normal squat, we'll come into a squat, and then what kind of bird is that? Oh, that's just a dove. We'll do, as soon as we come into our squat, we'll immediately start doing our Kundalini frog, which is from here up to here, and then back down to here, up and down. Hey, buddy. At your own pace. You can inhale down, exhale up, or you can try reversing that breath. Or don't worry about the breathing. Or if going up and down makes you dizzy, just either pick one and stay there. Now, is he sitting on my notes? He wants to. He's about to. Can't do that. So if you guys like this Kundalini frog, I mean, this might be one you would do every morning. I don't know. Do 100 of these. So we're going to end in the upward position. So I'm going to come down to squat one more time. And also, just for correctness, when you get really good at this, when you come down into your frog, you're going to look up slightly. Okay. So anyway, so we're at straddle, and we're going to walk our feet out, into straddle. Boy, everybody's off camera today except for Banu. What's going on? He's the star. All right. Okay. So we'll keep our legs straight and walk our hands over towards one leg. It doesn't matter which. Don't pivot your feet. So remember, keep your legs straight, even if it means you can't walk your hands all the way over to that foot. So I'd rather see you just stop here with a straight leg than come all the way over to here by bending the leg. See, little things like that are kind of important. Or let's just say they make a difference. Whether anything is important, it's anybody's guess. In the scheme of things, it's not important, but it does make there is a difference though. So we can add a twist here, again, without bending this leg. I'm twisting outward. Look up at your hand a little bit. One more breath here. Come back down, and we will walk our hands over to the other side. When you're ready, you can twist up. So I've been over here long enough now so I can get a little more twist. A little bit better form. One more breath. Release down. Relax here. So at this point you could walk your feet out further sideways. Carefully, you might come down to your head or your forearms. I don't feel like doing a headstand today on account of my back, but this might be a good time to do it. A headstand, we would just sneak it in because I'm not going to encourage everyone to do it. So that it would just be, if you're capable, you would sneak it in a time like this when we're all just hanging out here. So whatever you're doing, start to think about wrapping it up. I'm going to slowly start to pivot my feet back in, especially if you walked your feet out pretty far. You have to be careful bringing them back in. So what we'll do now is we're going to come up to standing
using the fierce pose to get up there. And instead of having our arms together overhead with our palms together, we're going to have our arms in front of us in the crocodile arms with the elbows together. Okay, and but before we do that, I'm going to be immediately cut off if I try this. So we'll take a little break and we'll go to the dojo and then do the standing poses in the dojo, because you can see the sun's already hitting me and I'm not even standing, right? So I don't want to do yoga in the sun. If you're not in Tucson, it's already about 95 here. And it's like 7 a.m. So, but we'll take our water break once we come to standing. So there'll be a little fade out here, and then I'll take you up to standing. Okay. Okay, so through the miracle of editing, we're now in the dojo. We're about to come up for a water break and then some standing poses. So let us come up using the fierce pose. That's with the elbows together, palms together, and these are crocodile arms, rather. So we're going to use the fierce pose with crocodile arms rather than having our arms overhead, right? So, and we're going to come up, I keep threatening this, but we're going to actually see if we can do this a little extra long today. So, first of all, I'll turn slightly oblique so you can see what's going on. I'm not going to come all the way down into a full squat, even if I could. Well, you could if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. The reason being, or let's put it this way. I'm going to come down as far as I can with my heels on the mat, okay? So that's the key. If you can come down lower with keeping your heels down, then go ahead and do it. Anyway, so let's start to breathe, and let's start to come up slowly. Can't believe my back is putting up with this. All right, so we were already up a little higher and faster than I wanted to. I wanted to take some time with this. Jeez, oh brother. All right, all right, I promise you, next time we do the fierce pose, we're gonna take 5 minutes to do it, but I guess not today. So I'm 3/4 of the way up. Oh boy, I wanted to take a lot longer on this one. So, anyways, I'm almost up to the top. So how about one more nice deep breath, and then exhale, press up the rest of the way, and then release your arms. All right. Well, I guess I went a little too fast. So take a water break. I already had mine when I switched locations. So hydrate, you guys, hydrate, please. It's not a suggestion, it's mandatory. Okay. You guys can also pause the video anytime you want. So let's do... Instead of a triangle or a warrior, we'll take a pose from Tai Chi called The Artful Snake Creeps Down. And maybe I'll show you something that we don't really get to in class that often. So look how relaxed she is. What if we added a little catnip to the equation? See what happens. Uh-oh. Okay, so come out into a 5-pointed star. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, catnip already taking effect. That's super fresh catnip. Okay, so I'm gonna call out left and right, even though you might be mirroring me, and even though I'm not gonna turn around. So I'm going to turn both feet to the left and look left. So, so both legs are straight. And if we were going to do like a triangle, we would go over and down, right? But the snake creeps down from Tai Chi is different in a couple of ways. So first of all, instead of my hands flat, I'm going to blade them up vertically, right? And then this hand here is going to make sort of a bird beak or a dragon's head with the tips of the fingers pressed together pointing down, right? But without tension. Man, I can smell that catnip from here. Wow. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Woo! Oh, God. Okay, then the next thing is I'm going to turn these feet out, and I'll show you why. So I'll turn obliquely. The reason I turn these feet out is we're going to sink down into this. Okay, so watch. If I don't turn these feet out, I get this zigzag here, and my hips pull back. If I turn these feet out, I can sink straight down. See the difference? So this is with the feet turned this way. Ew. This is with feet turned this way. Much better. Okay, so here we go. So, so I'm going to sink into my right leg. The left hand drops down. Some people can sit on that heel. And when I say some people, I'm talking like people in their 70s and 80s. Tai Chi masters. Okay. So this hand goes, this is not a separate arm and leg thing. It goes down like that. Okay, and then shift forward and then up. And that is, and then come back. And that's your artful snake creeps down. So you can, why don't we do it again? We're going to do it twice on both sides, okay? Because why? Because we can. Okay, so turn both feet left, hands like this, go here, turn that foot out, sink. So I'm drawing backward. This is actually sort of a pulling down and then down. Okay, great. We could stay here. In Tai Chi we wouldn't, but in yoga we might. And then, because this is like the triangle, then shift forward. And then watch, so as this drops down, that comes up, and that's basically it. She's destroying that chair. You guys hold here. Come here, you can't do that. You can't do that. You crazy girl, you crazy. Oh my goodness. I would rather have her destroy my notes than to destroy dojo property. So we're going to do the others. Come back. Oh, no. Too much catnip. Oh, I ruined her. All right. Meanwhile, Banu is out cold. He's no help to anyone. So we're back in our 5-pointed star. We're going to do the other side. Turn both feet right. If we were going to do a triangle, we would go down something like that, but we're not going to. Well, you know what? We have time. We can do a triangle also. Why not? Okay, so, but first of all, we'll do the snake creeps down. So the hands come up like this, then the left hand in that bird beak, turn the left foot out so that we can sink back and down. Oh, that feels great. Okay, again, in Tai Chi, we wouldn't hold here. It'd be a single fluid movement, but since it's yoga, we can do standing poses. And then there's something in Tai Chi called Zhang Zhuang, which is holding postures. So it's not wrong in Tai Chi occasionally to hold our postures back to the star. Okay, I said we'd do it twice. Okay, here, here. Okay, so back, down. Even with my foot turned out, there's a tendency for the hips to go back. Try to get the hips to sink straight down, please. And then forward. And then up. So try doing that really relaxed, like Tai Chi. It's supposed to be really relaxed. It's hard to relax when you're exerting yourself. Okay, so back to yoga. Traditional triangle, both feet to the left. Look left. Do not bend either leg. Over and down. I got to take it really easy on account of my back. I just, you never know what pose is going to hit my back. And in this case, the snake didn't do anything but this. I can feel it. So I'm only coming down to here, and I'm going to look up at my hand. And you guys are going to, I'm coming back up in the easiest way possible. So we've discussed a bunch of different ways of returning to standing. The safety method, the safest method, is to climb back up. So you watch. I'm not taking any chances with my back. And I don't want you guys to take any chances when something involves an injury, right? So what I'm talking about is when we're done with our triangle, I'm coming to here, and I'm climbing back up. I'm not messing around. Okay. Back to our star. Turn both feet to the right. Okay, and then over and down. I gotta be careful. When you get down as far as you feel comfortable, then look up at that other hand. My hand's probably missing here. Doesn't matter. Hopefully my head, hopefully you can see my head. That doesn't matter either. You know, you could do, people who are visually impaired can go just by the sound of my voice, so you could too. All right, so normally I would relax and float back up to standing. I'm not going to do that, no way. But a couple more breaths here. All right, so you guys come to standing any way you want. I'm playing it safe. All right. Boy, we lost our cat completely. So why don't you hold in your 5-pointed star, and I'm going to hunt down poor baby monster. I think we ruined her mind with catnip. It's really potent stuff. Where are you? Oh, no. Come back. Come back. Hold your poses. I got my eye on you. I can see you. Hold that pose. Oh. Poor kitty cat. Her mind was blown by too much catnip. Give me that back. No, you can't have any more. All right. Watch. Keep an eye on her. See if she strikes a pose. Where were we? Oh, you guys are still here. Okay. Good, good, good. Pull your arms back. See if you can. Well, I'll see if I can hop in. Well, on account of my back, I better not. Well, I'll try it. Okay. See if this disturbs her. Not bad, not bad. All right, so for our balance, we're going to tell you what, let's figure out a way to do this right. Okay, so for our balance, we're going to do, I'm going to show you what we're going to do later down on the ground. If we do it from standing, it becomes a balance. Okay, so one of our lizard poses is, so lizards do this thing like this, right? This is how they walk, right? With this lateral movement of the spine. And we'll try this later down on the ground, but now I can show this to you as a balance, right? So this will be our balance. So just come up. So keep everything open. Keep this knee back, and then elbow to the knee, and this can be a side stretch. Okay, so try that again. Not too much side stretch, because if you lose your balance, You don't want to pull anything here. So try it on the other side. We'll do it several times on both sides because that's the reciprocal nature of the lizard moving back and forth. So when you lose your balance, just use that as a opportunity to switch sides. So if I lose my balance now, I switch sides now. It's no big deal. No one can see you. Who cares? So there's a crunch here. So you're working your obliques, right? And then a corresponding side stretch on the other side. Okay, this is primal movement. Okay, crunch here, open here, switch. So you're just going as long as you can on each side. May as well. And then when I lose my balance, whoops, I come over to the other side. So I think I did an even number on both sides. And you'll see later what that looks like on the ground. So let's momentarily dip back down and we'll come back up and then we'll head back down to the ground for the rest of the session. So come into hanging forward bend. Keep an eye on her. That's a pose we might strike, but it's too laid back. What happened to her? Boy, she's really sedated now. Whoa, no, she's not. All right, I'll do as much of this pose as I can. And I'll turn slightly obliquely so you can see what's going on. We're going to work our way from lunge to lizard. So back to lunge. So see how one hand is here, hand, foot, hand. It's going to go, okay, I can already see this is going to be pretty tough on my back, so I'm just going to do a little bit. So it's going to go hand, so it's going to go foot, hand, hand. And then, if you want, you can, well, everybody's going to drop down to one knee. This is much better on my back already. Oh, thank God. And flatten that foot out. And now you guys are going to maybe drop down to one elbow or both elbows, opening out the hip here, right? Okay, my back can't do that though. But anyway, so you just feel, but even if my back can't do it, I'm just going to feel the sinking. So just mentally sink. Feel the elbows just drop. Even if they don't drop, mentally they drop. Come back, baby. She's detoxing from her catnip overdose. Should not have brought that catnip. All right, note to self. It's never worked before. All right, so I'm going to come back up a little bit. I'm going to curl my toes under. I'm going to bring this hand around. We're going to press up to lunge. And then we can step this foot forward. When you're ready, you may step the other foot back. Classic lunge. Boy, I can't do much of this either. And then drop down to the knee, flatten the foot out. Hand comes over to the other side, so it's hand, hand, foot. And then yeah, I can feel exactly where my back is hurt. So, and then just drop down as best you can. Just sink. Whatever your hip can do. It's a good pose even if you stay up where I'm at. It's a really good pose, actually. All right, that's enough. I'm gonna curl my back toes under. I'm going to bring this hand back around. I'm going to press up to lunge, and then I'm going to inhale, step my foot forward. And then We will come up to standing. Wow, I did that without bending my knees. This is great. My back is much better. I'm at about 80%. So let's see. Let's just do a side stretch, and then we'll head back down to the mat. Okay, so let's just say a side stretch, some more water, and then back down to the mat. So let us do, well, let's do a half moon side bend. Just sort of thinking of a long pointy lizard tail. Okay, so my feet are not together. That's too unstable. Step back so you can see my hands. You know what else we can do on this one? And this is always an option. Cross the hands over. Okay, and then nice deep breath and exhale over. Again, on kind of my back, I'm not coming over far at all, but it doesn't matter because of the crossed hands, I'm feeling a much better stretch here. And then one of you is raising your hand saying, which hand do we cross over which hand? It doesn't really matter because we're going to do both sides. In fact, the reptilian set is so much about this side bend. Let's go to both sides twice. So don't worry if you haven't really got a full side bend here because you'll get it on the second time. So leave your hands the way they are. Do not recross them just yet. Let's go to the other side and just visit this side, because remember, if we're doing both things twice, then your first time is just to say hello. You're not going for a big stretch. Okay? So in fact, we'll just take one more breath here and then come back up to center. Okay, so now switch your hands. Nice deep breath. Exhale over to the first side again. So this should feel much better second time around. Come back up. Nice deep breath here. A couple of breaths if you want, and then whenever you're ready, exhale over to the other side. Again, second time it feels much nicer. Still, you can probably barely detect a side bend with me, but I can feel it. Remember our motto, yoga is not how it looks, it's how it feels. I can definitely feel a side bend from my ankle to my wrist. One more breath, luxurious breath, and then when you're ready, inhale to center. Let's extend upward. So this is one of our balances that's not a balance because we have both feet on the floor. So let's just see if we can come up on our toes, extending upward. That's a good balance. All right. Come back down and release. So you guys are going to have some water, all right? And then you're going to join me in a hanging forward bend. Okay, but take time. You can be having your water now. I'm just hanging out here. You have time. You have time. So have your water. And then you'll join me in a hanging forward bend. And we're going to head back out with the chickens and the cats. And we'll continue back down to the earth, okay? And so this has been fun. And I will see you shortly with the miracle of editing.
here, baby. All right, we're back. And we're in a hanging forward bend. We've had our water. We're all rehydrated. And we're going to come back down to the ground and do a few more ground positions. This time we'll watch Baby Monster here to see if she strikes a pose and that we can emulate in true cat yoga fashion. Let's see. So what we'll do is from here we'll go to downward facing dog. I used to hop back when my back was okay, but I can't hop back either because she's back there. So I'm just going to walk around her carefully. Come into downward facing DOG. Oh, that's right. Stick by me. They'll leave you alone. So then we're going to do some things that are sort of optional, and let's see. So from downward facing dog, so we'll get into some of these lizard-esque poses or crocodile-esque poses. So we'd come down to plank, and so right here in your plank, you might drop down to your knees. So one of the makarasanas or crocodile poses would start basically from a four-limb staff. So I'm dropping down to here, but I'm not down on the ground. I'm still suspended up. But you could be down on the ground just to, if you needed to. And then, so then that would involve a little walk here. Right? But that's not really a good lizard walk. So what I showed you, what are you doing? Stop it. Stop it. Don't fight either. Okay. So a real lizard walk uses the lizard spine. But I don't know if this is really in the Hatha yoga tradition. So as I demonstrated, it's more like this, right? So it would start out, so you could even look back, right? And drop down as low as you can, and then switch, and then switch. Okay, then once you're good at that, you spend more time suspended just on one hand and two legs. Okay, so you can refer back to this video as this becomes easier. So if I'm here, I would go here, and then here. See how it's making this twisting? Here. And so what that starts to do is get a complete twisting through the body, so the leg is going to start to twist too. So watch this. So as this hand comes around, this leg comes around, this hand comes around, this leg comes around. So anyway, and then eventually, I know, all right, you're kind of getting in the way, baby. All right, you gotta move. She's almost doing a downward dog now, sorta. There's one more thing on this one, is you can come all the way. So if this arm came around, you could come all the way down to here and then do a little push-up. On the other side, it would look like this. Leg comes over, little push-up. It really opens out this shoulder nicely. Okay, so that's our lizard ground movements.
And that's more like natural movement. That's not really hatha yoga. So take a little break in the child pose. Oh. So then, here's another restful pose. So thanks for bearing with me on that, because those are some interesting poses, but not everyone's cup of tea. So here's a lizard wagging its tail pose. So my arms are back, and if my head is turned to the right, I'm going to do my right leg. So your hands are actually providing support for you, and the right leg is going to come up. This is your lizard tail, and it's going to flip over to the side, and I'm going to bring my big toe all the way down to the ground, even if it means, look how high my shoulder came up. Unless you're super flexible, your shoulder will come up, and that's okay. So I'll show it to you again. So from here, Rita, you're in the way. Oh, baby. Okay, so this comes up as high as you can and then over. Should feel really good. And the only thing you want to try to do is not actually roll onto your side. You want to let, in this case, this is my right leg, and my left shoulder is opening really nicely underneath me. You obviously can't see. So we'll come around to try the other side. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. You poor thing. Oh, neglected. So she's sort of doing it. Well, we would strike this pose here if she would. She's not going to stay put for long. But let's try this. Okay, so here we go. I'm looking to my left. My left foot's coming over. Left shoulder's coming up. Right shoulder's opening. My left big toe is on the ground. All right. No confrontation. Come on, Rita. Be a good girl. Leave baby alone. Let's see. Oh, as long as we're here, let's do a cobra. You guys, cobra's not my favorite pose. I think it's just a little overrated, that's all. I think we have enough back bends, and it's done. People get so into it. So start with your hands under your shoulders. So just for a change, try not to do this like a push-up. Let's do it just with our back. So engage your abs to protect your lower back. And strangely enough, my back is not protesting this. So I just come up to here. You'd say, oh, this is a terrible cobra. But this is all with no arms, so that's not actually a bad cobra. If I can come up this high with no arms, that's great. And then add like a little bit of arms. But if it adds tension, don't do it. And don't let your hips come up off the ground either. All right. Okay, get it out. All right, so this would look like a really bad cobra, but it's actually fairly correct. Relax the shoulders, relax the arms. Come back, Benu. Come here, Benu. Benu's over on the other side of the fence too. He's had it. Okay, back to child pose. Who's messing around back there? If anybody's messing around, it's always Rita.
She's a troublemaker. Alright. Child pose. Oh, I know what. Instead of a child pose, let's do a frog pose instead. So, only difference is the legs are wider, feet are splayed out to the sides, and you leave your arms in front of you, like this. Opening the hips. Benu, careful. So, keep your legs in this position. See if you can come up to here. Well, I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to have to bring my feet back in. But we can do an alternate frog. Here's a neat one. Hands together, palms up. Loop the hands down and under, fingers pointing back towards me now. And just gently bring some weight down here so you're kind of stretching your arms, hopefully not hyperextending your elbows. Don't hyperextend your elbows. Don't bend your arms backwards. All right. And then on account of my back, I'm not going to go further on this one, but you could, but I'll wait for you guys. You could rise up a little bit and thread your hands back further, dropping down to your chin. I guess this will work out. Boy, this doesn't look good the way I'm doing it, though. You should be more up on your chin with your back straighter. See, I'm not coming all the way down. Okay. And then, when we come back up again, do it without any tension whatsoever. You relax and just undo what you did. All right. Okay, great. Well, it's nice of her to join us, even though she feels somewhat threatened. So let's see. What else do we have for you? Hey, we're ready for our side pose. So this is the one that we alluded to earlier, and this sort of mystifies people. Now be careful. You be careful. Oh, there's Benu. What's he doing out there? What are you doing out there, Benu? What are you doing? Stop it. All right. So, this is doable, I promise you, you guys. It just looks weird, that's all. So this is Ananta reclining on his sort of chaise lounge, which is actually made out of a cobra. And just like we did in Bharadvaja's twist, the foot is on the knee. Bring this knee back towards baby monster. So you feel how this is all holding itself together. Grasp this foot and then just roll forward, and the whole thing should hold itself together. If I was super flexible, I could have my head on my hand, but I don't want to hyper extend my neck. Okay. All right, let's try it the other side. What are you doing? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I guess they haven't been fed this morning. That's the problem. Uh-oh. That's why Rita's getting in my face, literally. All right. Here we go. You guys, we're getting through pretty quick. This might not be a 90-minute class today. Excellent. All right, so this goes here, that goes there. This has to come back. Come over here. Stay here. All right, and then this has to come towards you. If it won't, that means this is not far enough back. There we go. Okay, I don't want to run over her. So something like that. There we go. Got it. Come here, Coco. Get in the picture. Come here. That's a good Coco. Good girl. Come here, girls. Everybody get in the photo. Everybody smile. Smile, everyone. Hey. Okay, that's good. What was that? Okay, good. So, all we'll do is a crocodile twist, and then we'll be just about done. So the crocodile twist can be done laying down. But as I've mentioned before, your legs develop so much leverage as they twist from side to side, it could be too much for your back. So if you do it from here, you don't have as much leverage. So back on our elbows. So you'll see what I'm talking about. If I come over to the side and extend my legs out, gravity is dragging me down, which is good. From here, it's manageable. From laying down, it's less manageable. It's just physics. So this is our crocodile twist. Feels really good. This Pilates borrowed this, turned it into the can. So you can experiment with this and see how far you can twist and how far you can extend your legs. All right. I'll do one more to each side. Just try to have the same number on both sides. And crocodiles do this. Crocodiles love to roll, right? So this is a really good pose. A lot of crocodile poses in yoga because there's a lot of crocodiles in India. All right, I am done. We're just gonna lay back, and then as usual, I'll get you started in your meditation, and then we'll see where we go from here. But you don't need me for your meditation. It's better to have some of our little creatures. So lay back, hug your knees. So just to illustrate what we're saying, arms out to the sides, bring the knees to one side. If you want, you can extend your legs out and see how heavy they get. They feel much heavier now. Okay, so I'm not going to do it on account of my back. Come to the other side. We just have to try what we did just to see, to be even on both sides. All right, so that's too much for me. So I'm just getting ready to meditate. Hug your knees to your chest. Release any tension in your back. Roll around. Feel energy coming up through the earth. Unless you're on the second floor in your apartment. I can really feel energy coming up through the ground. So you can also get energy in from the sky down, and you can let it pass through you. But if you're sick, you want to reserve some. So if you're having energy come up through you, don't let it just whoosh, go straight up to the sky. Kind of hold it in, bring it to whatever part of your body is not feeling good right now. And if you have a crazy overabundance of chi, send some of it right now to someone that you know that needs it. And then we'll take one more breath. and exhale, collapse down into our corpse pose. And then I will leave you to meditate. But let me leave you with a quote, and this is going back to Bharadvaja, the sage, and he said simply, "Opportunity will not offer itself a second time." And namaste. So enjoy your meditation for as long as you are able. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always an extreme pleasure to have you join me. I can feel your presence, even though the class is not live, but I can feel you out there. So glad you do this with me. We'll see you next week.